Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Smith, the Executive Assistant Commissioner for CBP's Office of Trade. I lead CBP's trade mission, which is a key part of the U.S. economic security. Many people talk about national security, and at CBP, we believe that economic security, the health and safety of U.S. consumers, and the competitiveness of U.S. businesses is a key part of national security. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, 39 million jobs depend on international trade. We've done our own analysis, and we believe that for every dollar invested in CBP's Office of Trade, the United States gains nearly $96 in economic benefits for U.S. consumers and businesses, as well as the U.S. federal government. As the second largest source of revenue for the government, we provide an important revenue stream to allow us as the government to provide critical goods and services in our country. In fiscal year 2020, CBP collected nearly $80 billion in duties, taxes, and fees. We are a great return on investment. We also support efforts to provide economic security in industries and sectors which may impact our other homeland security and immigration goals. For example, we have worked to ensure a level playing field for U.S. businesses through our enforcement of the trade remedies. We have collected a very significant amount of money, nearly $40 billion in the trade remedies, which sends the message around the world that U.S. manufacturers and U.S. businesses should be and want to be competitive while not facing unfair competition. So there's a lot of things that we need in order to do our trade mission. For us, we bring to the table a tremendous amount of expertise. Many of you know that in the U.S., the customs mission, the customs function, goes back to the early days of our republic. In fact, we were established by the Fifth Act of Congress in 1789. Those authorities we use today with a large number of additional authorities. By our estimate, we enforce over 500 different laws for nearly 50 government agencies. And as you might imagine, a lot of the agencies depend on the data collected by Customs and Border Protection as we watch the goods and the people that cross our borders. That traffic results in a tremendous amount of data. And it's data that for many years, we were able to target against or to analyze, but frankly, we were doing it by hand. We used things like Access databases and Excel spreadsheets. But a number of years ago, we started on a project to upgrade our information infrastructure through the Automated Commercial Environment, or ACE. In ACE, we started to move to a modern system, which is now increasingly located in the cloud, and one which gives our operational folks in the field the ability to make good risk-based decisions, but also it provides the private sector the opportunity to provide information about the shipments that cross our borders, as well as to get messaging. In an ideal world, coordinated messaging between the various government agencies that have an interest in the cargo crossing our borders. So ACE was the core part of ACE was completed in 2016. But since that time, we've recognized what a wealth of information we have in our automated commercial environment, but also that the tools that we have built in ACE, the reporting function, for example, is not sufficient to really take advantage of all that data. We have, over the last couple of years, started to scratch the surface on what analytics can do for us through a number of proofs of concept with academic institutions, as well as private sector entities that have worked with us around information infrastructure, around analytic tools, as well as around how to raise the data literacy of CBP employees to ensure that we know what to ask for and we know what to use it. All of this work has come under the umbrella of something known as the Advanced Trade Analytics Platform, which we began several years ago and have received funding from the U.S. Congress to support the trade mission. We have passed through a number of our acquisition gates and have one more key one to go. But we are really excited about the potential of analytics when applied to the trade mission and specifically to trade data. We think that things like visualization, link analysis, as well as many other tools that we are working with various vendors to add to our portfolio are going to take us light years beyond what we are able to do now in order to be able to identify the risk in the trade environment. Whether it is by enforcing the rules around anti-dumping and countervailing duty orders when foreign exporters look to sell goods in the U.S. at below market price, or whether they're looking at exporting counterfeit goods to the U.S., which not only carry economic harm, but also may have a significant health and safety risk, whether it's counterfeit auto parts or counterfeit pharmaceuticals. Finding these needles in the haystack has become a challenge. It's a challenge that CBP has managed for a number of years. But we recognize in today's very fast-paced environment that we have to get better at both sharing that information within CBP and with our other government agency partners, but we also need to be better at slicing and dicing, racking and stacking that data so that the key risks pop out at us. That's a challenge, but we are up to that challenge. We have brought on a number of data science resources and integrated them into our software development teams. So we were able to take the data that we are collecting and really get to the key insights. Our first really successful project has been in the e-commerce environment. We are seeing nearly 2 million e-commerce packages a day. And I don't know about you, but I've spent a good portion of my time recently as I prepare for the holidays ordering online shipments. Everybody's doing it. And we're all in this pandemic environment even more dependent on the ability to use e-commerce supply chains to have goods delivered to our door. But oftentimes those goods that come to our door may be counterfeit, or they may not have followed the other rules and requirements of the federal government. Finding those non-compliant packages in the flood of e-commerce shipments continues to be a challenge. But we're working with a number of the entities involved in e-commerce to really find those shipments that shouldn't be allowed into the United States. So we're tremendously excited about the opportunities that we see coming from analytics. This will be part of our larger strategy of a 21st century customs framework. Information and technology are key pillars of what we see trade being in the next 20 to 30 years. We'll be working over the next year on legislative language and changes to our own regulations and policies that will help us create the trade environment of the future. We're excited about the opportunities that technology presents us for this, and we look forward to working with you on those opportunities. Thanks again for the opportunity to speak with you today, and I look forward to any questions or comments that you might be able to share. Thank you.